I want to welcome personally um, Joanna McClinton, also Morgan Seavis, Natasha Mays, Ms. Dasha Parker, Representative Young, Representative Chris Benson, and Representative Curry, Senator Vincent Hughes, and also Representative Brown. We are here for this exciting time. I am so honored to be a part of this whole Natural Crown. One of the things that I thought about was being the owner of Island Design for the last 24 years has been exciting, but this is amazing. I'm the owner and founder of Island Design, and when I oh sorry my car dealership.
You want me to get that for you?
To be part of all this is so amazing. I am a child growing up in the Virgin Islands with natural hair. Natural hair has been braids, twists, locks all my life. That's all I know. As you know, I still have locks. But wearing my natural hair has been all that I know. But as I opened my salon and spoke to different clients that wear braids, that's telling me, Lorraine, I have to take these braids out. I have a job interview. Or Lorraine, I have to cut my locks down because my job says it's too long. And the recent one was my client who says, Lorraine, they talking about me. I have to do something. I have to cut my locks because of my job. You know, they saying it's unprofessional to have locks. And I'm like, wow. So the experience has been really heartbreaking. But I thank God for the opportunity to be here. And I just want to say, natural hair rock. Like, we are the bomb. We are the bomb. And wearing our crown is very important to me. At this time, I do want to acknowledge Governor Josh Shapiro. And he has been amazing. In the back scene, he don't even know, but we talk about you being president. So, yeah. I turn everything over, and I just thank you for being in this tight area, but it's for a perfect cause. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Lorraine. You're awesome. Lorraine, thank you. It is a good day. It's good to be with all of you. I want to say to Lorraine and to her entire team, thank you for welcoming us here to this salon in West Philly. And I assume at some point Morgan Cephas will yell out, West is best, so I'll just say it for her. Right?
Who said that?
Hughes, I'm not listening to you today. Now, listen, I think what's amazing about this salon is it's not just a place to come in for beauty, for a cut. This is a place for community. This is a place where apparently you guys talk a lot, and this is a place where the community gets nurtured and folks get to walk in and walk out looking and feeling their absolute best. I think that's noble work. I really do. Making other people feel proud of who they are. And I'm so proud to support the work that you do. This is important, I think, this feeling of pride from our hair salons to our schools, to our places of worship, and everywhere across Pennsylvania. Folks deserve to feel this way. I recall it's just about 3 years ago in my inaugural address when I took the oath of office to serve as your governor. I talked about opening up the doors of opportunity for all Pennsylvanians, focusing on advancing the cause of real freedom, no matter where you are in this Commonwealth, to build a Pennsylvania that respects you for who you are, no matter what you look like, where you come from, who you love, or who you pray to. That is what we are collectively building here in the Commonwealth. And today, when I sign the Crown Act into law, that will be the next step in making good on that promise of bringing about real freedom for all Pennsylvanians. In just a few moments, I'm going to sign this Crown Act into law, codifying into law a ban on workplace discrimination on the basis of hair texture or hairstyle in our Commonwealth. We will become the 28th state in the country with such an anti-discrimination law on the books, and we will create more opportunities and less barriers for people in the process. Look, we know that this is an issue that disproportionately affects Black Pennsylvanians who wear their hair in protective styles like locks and natural braids or twists. And it can manifest itself in a number of different ways. Lorraine spoke about that before, from someone getting fired simply because of how they look, or maybe someone getting passed over for a job because of the way they wear their hair. That's unacceptable, and in a moment, it will be illegal. But as you'll hear from Dr. Asamoah and the legislative leaders who are here today, hair discrimination also happens in more subtle ways. And I think it's important that we acknowledge that. Holding people back from getting that promotion or recognition they deserve just because someone thinks they don't look professional. And for those of you who were here just on the radio, note that I used air quotes around the word professional. According to the Human Relations Commission, just a few years ago, we had 916 complaints alleging racial discrimination based on hair texture and protective hairstyles. It is unacceptable to me that Pennsylvanians have to feel like they choose between who they really are and a job maybe that they really want to pursue. That is not okay. But with the Crown Act, I hope more Pennsylvanians know that here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, their government has got their backs. Now, if they endure discrimination based on who they are or what they look like or how they wear their hair, they will be fully protected under the non-discrimination laws here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Look, this is a big deal, and I want to give credit where credit is due to the strong leadership of Speaker Joanna McClinton. And of course, Representative Latasha Mays. And listen, they worked on this for 6 years. There's a lesson in that. You got to work hard in life to get things done that you care deeply about. And I want to be clear, without them pushing this, we would not be here today. I want you to consider the broader point here. These are two powerful women from opposite sides of the state, different walks of life, different upbringings. But here we have two women joined together in this cause in getting stuff done. One of them is our history-making Speaker of the House of Representatives, Joanna McClinton. The other, a powerful voice in the House Democratic Caucus and a trailblazer in her own right. And I think it's important to note that in some people's minds, they might not fit that definition of what professional is like. But listen, they are not only professional, they are powerful. And they are looking out not just for themselves, but little girls and others all across Pennsylvania who just want a fair shot, who don't want to face discrimination, and who want real freedom and real opportunity. And thanks to these two leaders, that is exactly what they are getting. And we are grateful to both of you. More Pennsylvanians will have more freedom because of Representative Mays and Speaker McClinton. Look, we know that there is a lot more work to do to build a more inclusive society here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You know, for my entire career in public service, I've been focusing on non-discrimination protection at our state level, and we have more work to do in that realm. And I'm going to continue to do that work, as I know every single member who's standing with me here will do, bringing together lawmakers from both parties to ensure Pennsylvania remains a place where everyone is welcome and everyone is respected and everyone feels as though they belong, no matter what you look like, where you come from, who you love, who you pray to, or how you wear your hair. You belong here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
All right.
As I prepare to yield the microphone, I do just want to say a word to all of you, and especially to Minister McClinton. You know, she moonlights from the church pulpit, and so it's a little hard for me to, you know, quote scripture near the minister, but I know a little something about that. I think that Minister McClinton's work really embodies our shared faith. I was thinking about the book of Samuel on the way over here. Do not look at one's outward appearance, God commands us. Instead, God teaches us to look at the heart. That's right. And I think it is important that we have more laws on the books that force people not to slice and dice our community into different segments or sections, not to dismiss people because of how they might look and how someone might perceive that, but instead give us an opportunity to look at people's hearts, give us an opportunity to look at their spirits, give us an opportunity to see people for who they really are. That is what Representative Mays and Speaker McClinton and all of these representatives up here accomplished today. Not just greater protections for all Pennsylvanians, but more of an opportunity to look in people's hearts. And that, to me, is a real blessing. And so I am privileged and pleased to be here today. In a moment, you're going to help me put my name on that, which turns it into law in Pennsylvania, which is pretty cool. But before that, I want to introduce Dr. Adjoa Asamoah, who's going to share a few words, followed by the two great leaders who we have here today who made this possible. Then I'll sign this into law and come up and take a few questions. Thank you all very much. This is a great day here in Pennsylvania. Doctor?
Well, first, let me say thank you, Governor, for recognizing that this is not just about hairstyles versus extending statutory protection to hair, in addition to full inclusion in the Commonwealth. Good morning. I am Dr. Adjoa B. Asamoah, and I am known as the Crown Act champion and scholar.
All right.
If the smile does not give it away, I am overjoyed to be here today, especially to enact something that is so near and dear to my heart. In the city where I have lived and grown, and not too far away from my alma mater, Temple University, that helped prepare me to do the work I have done since I left the nest. This public policy campaign is my brainchild, in a nationwide effort I have led since 2018. Determining it was necessary to change the law to help redress the long-standing and problematic practice of racial discrimination in the form of hair discrimination, I subsequently developed the national legislative, social impact, and coalition building strategies for this movement, because for too long, a myopic notion of professionalism and Eurocentric standards of beauty have perpetuated racial inequity and exclusion. Too many Black children have been suspended and missed what should be valuable instruction time because their hair, worn in ways that are aligned with their racial identity, have been deemed a violation of school rules. Too many Black adults, as the governor shared, have been passed over for promotions, had offers of employment rescinded, and even been fired for showing up authentically. And with an undeniable correlation between the use of chemical relaxers and the increased likelihood of developing uterine fibroids and cancer, the cost of conformity is simply too expensive. This is my baby. But even as a policymaker and architect, it's something I am very clear I could not deliver on my own. And I genuinely could not dream of a better team than my brother, my forever senator, who I've been working with for decades, Senator Vincent Hughes, because Black men in politics matter. To my dear sister in service, who I am thrilled to call Madam Speaker, and to my sister in social action, better known as my soror, Representative Latasha D. Mays.
Sounds like a meeting coming up.
There is a chapter meeting coming up. Collectively, we have taken a bold and critically important step to help mitigate the psychological, physical, and economic harm of race-based hair discrimination. And I thank you all. Again, Governor Shapiro, thank you for your support in enacting this in short order. Thank you all for being here. I am happy to answer any questions you may have at the end.
All right, now listen. The House of Representatives is divided by literally one vote between Democrats and Republicans. Every single representative up here is the deciding vote. And every single representative up here was not only a deciding vote on policy, they were the deciding vote on the first vote you cast on the first day of every session. And they chose to vote to make Joanna McClinton of Philadelphia the Speaker of the House. That's right. Think about that. Yeah. They chose to make her the Speaker of the House, and she chose to make the Crown Act a priority that would reach my desk. And so, ladies and gentlemen, think about that. Think about not just our history-making speaker, but the actions that each one of these representatives took to put her in that position of power and authority to get this bill to my desk. Ladies and gentlemen, the Speaker of the House, your neighbor, Joanna McClinton.
Thank you, Governor Shapiro, for that warm welcome. Thank you to my neighbor, Miss Lorraine, who 9 years ago, when on a real whim, honestly, I was giving myself a heat-free October. That's all it was. You know, anybody who's always known me before this job especially, every 6 weeks on 60th Street, I had a fresh perm. I saw Miss Marquita routinely because it was no other way to go into court, Senator Hughes. I mean, I was already fighting for people's lives, literally. So I thought, and it was my understanding, for me to have the respect of the judge and of the jury, that I needed to look a certain way every single day. My clients, my colleagues at the Defender, they never saw anything that you all see now. They probably shocked, like, what happened to her? She lost her flat irons? Is her power's on in the house? What's going on? But I'll tell you, 9 years ago, it was on a whim that I said, I'm just gonna have a heat-free month, and I'll see where it takes me. And it wasn't supposed to take me anywhere except back to my stylist at the time the next month. But somehow a neighbor of mine, and I tell him this when I see him, he says, you know, your hair looks really nice like that. You don't have to wear it straight. And it was that conversation at 61st in Baltimore that gave me the confidence to try something new for myself. And I had no idea at the time that there would ever be an opportunity to change the law in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I'll tell you, and may she continue to rest in power. The biggest critic, Governor, was my granny. My granny said, now, what's your constituents say about all of this? That's right. And I'll tell you, my mother, when I left the house, said, now, what's this law really going to do? How is it going to really help people, and how is it going to change things in Pennsylvania? And I had to run because I was a little late. But, Mom, if you're watching, this is going to help people by making sure that wherever you work or wherever you're applying for a job, they can't look at your hair and size you up, not based on your qualifications and all of the professional development you have and all of your education. They will not look at your hair and decide you can't work here. That's right. They will not look at your hair and decide you don't belong in this C-suite. Right. They will not look at your hair and say you can't be in the boardroom. Right. So I don't know if the headlines get to heaven, but if they do, I hope my grandmother gets to see this moment. Because this is an exciting time. And I'll tell you, when my colleagues made that vote, I didn't do like all the men speakers ahead of me and hold on to my bills. I say that in the mic. Because that's what they did. Right. Many times we voted on prior speakers' legislation. Right. I understood that I had been working with Representative at the time, State Rep Summer Lee. She's now in Congress. I tell you, I've been working with her for a while, but when we had a trailblazer elected from West Philly, but in Pittsburgh, Representative Latasha D. Mays, a woman that I had worked with for so long, on important issues like dignity for incarcerated women, Representative Cephas, on important issues like reproductive justice, on important issues like the Pennsylvania Black Maternal Health Caucus. I said, I'm not going to be greedy. You all already gave me a big job with a lot of work. I want to make sure I pass the baton to someone who is going to do the work. And I'll tell you, Tiffany, I thought we had done something with our presser in 2022. You know, it was all cool. We had the signs. But, ma'am, Representative Mays stepped it up a notch all the way. She hit the gas. She developed the Crown Act Coalition. Every time I saw her, she said, when are you coming back to Pittsburgh? Because we're going to have another event. I said, another one, Rep Miss? I mean, my schedule a little tight. I got things to do when I go all the way out. She's like, no, we're going to organize this and we're going to do it. And I am so very proud of the coalition she built, and they could not all fit here, so we will be back for another celebration. Don't be slighted if you came up in March with us and held a sign. We're coming back for you with a bigger location in Harrisburg, Governor. And in Pittsburgh. You're going to stay on the road with this one. Just put it out there. But we are excited. So I just wanted to bring my goddaughter here, Laurel Sarai, because for a long time, she's been on my screensaver, and the governor's my witness. We were having a discussion where there were no cameras and no press and no people. And I said, this is Laurel. She wears beautiful locks. And before she's old enough to apply for a job, I hope we can change the law in Pennsylvania. That was just 3 weeks ago. People ask what changed, what happened. I'm not going to say what happened, but Laurel, you had to be here because you were a part of my advocacy. And reaching across the aisle, across the building. And with that, I am proud to turn the baton over to my sister rep, Representative Latasha D. Mays, the prime sponsor for the Crown Act.
Good morning, Pennsylvania. Now, you all know that I normally am rocking a fly hat on any given day, especially on session day, thanks to our speaker. But today, I want you to see me and know me and value me for my hair exactly as it is. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of this action today. I'm going to give you a little bit of this.
All right.
Today is the day that we make history in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Today, natural hair is protected. Every coil, every kink, every curl. And on this day, my message is simply this: your hair is perfect as it is. Your hair is professional as it is. Your hair is powerful as it is. Because you are enough. Your hair is enough exactly as it grows out of your head. If you haven't picked up on it by now, I grew up in West Philadelphia. Which has shaped me into the person I am today. And so it is a full circle moment to be in my hometown as our governor signs the Pennsylvania Crown Act into law. I want to tell you and take a moment to tell you how I am here today. A very challenging trip to get here with my family, my 2-year-old daughter, 44 years of this life and hair journey. But I want to especially say that I'm here today because of my mother. All that I am as a person, as a mother, as a leader, as an organizer, and as a legislator is because of my mother, Charlotte Denise Stroud. Now, as the work of Dr. Asamoah was beginning in 2018, my mother passed away. But her entire life was dedicated to service, to family. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge my family members that are here today. My aunts and my uncles and my cousins are here. Of course, I need to acknowledge and share my unending and unabounding love for Dr. Heather Lauren Real, my wife, my mother-in-law, Cynthia Real, and the queen herself, Charlotte Real Mays, who is named after my mother. My mother gave me my fight. She always told me I could do anything, and I believed her. And that's how I move in this world. I wish with all my heart that she could be present with us today, but I know that she would be proud that we are about to sign into law the Pennsylvania Crown Act. As mother and daughter, we struggle with our hair. It is as complex as the story of Black people and our story in this nation, especially for Black women and girls in America. As a single mother, it made sense that she would relax my hair with the Just For Me Kitty Perm Kit. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Yes. Or as we practice our faith, to hot comb my hair on high holy days like Easter. Speaker. And if you have the cultural and collective shared experience, you not only hear what I'm talking about, you know it, and you can hear the sound of the sizzle from the hot comb. Or to get me and my brother out the house to play, 2 cornrows or 2 braids down the side with the part in the middle and the barrettes on the end, so we could play outside until the street lights came on. For her, my mother had a perfect mushroom in the 1980s. Then she turned to the curls held up by a stretchy bandana, West Philly style. And then she turned to the one braid with the weave ponytail and the curls at the end. And later in life, a full array of wigs that all had different names. So I went natural in 2002, much to my mother's dismay, because she was like, now how are you going to get a job now? How are you going to take over corporate America now with your hair like that? She was there when I had to make choices about braids or wear my natural twists when I was applying for my internship at Pico. And until her last day, she still called my locks braids. I was like, Mother, this isn't going to change, and I need you to know these are locks. But I struggled and she struggled. But that struggle begins to end today when the Pennsylvania Crown Act becomes law. When I first introduced the Pennsylvania Crown Act in 2023, which was the 3rd time, I did it with a deep understanding by so many Black people across this state, all of us. And I know we talk about the experience of Black women specifically, but this has impacted all of Black Pennsylvania, all of us. And so we have been told or shown directly or indirectly that we're not enough, that we have to be something of a problem to fix, that we're unprofessional, that it's not respectable to show up with our hair exactly as it is. And for generations, Black Pennsylvanians have been vilified, judged, ostracized, punished, mistreated, disciplined, or denied opportunity in this Commonwealth, whether it's at work, at schools, in sports, in the military, in court, because of braids and locks and twists and bantu knots and afros and other protective styles. Hair discrimination has taken confidence from our children, but that ends today. Hair discrimination has taken dignity from workers, but that ends today. It has taken access to economic opportunities, hopes, and dreams, but that begins to end today. Pennsylvania joins a growing movement across this nation to say that who you are, your most and highest authentic self, is enough. And the movement that started it all was the National Crown Act movement. So I have to acknowledge and honor Dr. Adjoa B. Asamoah and the tireless work. It is not, it's no small thing to come up with an idea and make it a reality. I've done it before. I understand what it takes. But she created a force for good in Pennsylvania and all across this nation. And I want to thank Dr. Asamoah for this movement that allows us to be ourselves. I want to thank our Congressmember Summer Lee, and I want to thank our good Senator Vincent Hughes. They picked up this fight in the House and the Senate. And our Congressmember from Allegheny County, where I represent, she's gone on to Congress, but we want to acknowledge the work that she did and that she laid the foundation. And I want to acknowledge Senator Hughes because he was the clear voice in the Senate about this needing to happen and was at the beginning of this journey in our Commonwealth. And so I want to thank Congressmember Summer Lee and Senator Vince Hughes. Can we please give them a round of applause?
We need the ball brothers.
We definitely need the Ball brothers in the Crown Act movement. And now I just want to take a moment. It's not going to be long enough to talk about my deep gratitude. Come on, Booker. Come on, Booker. Come, just you come. Come on. I want to thank the speaker, the great Joanna McClinton. When she asked me to be prime sponsor of this bill, I was like, you sure you want me? Because I just got here. Because this is my first 6 months in office. I said, are you sure? I can do it. Why me? And it's because of her faith, her confidence, and her trust in my ability to do the work needed to get this bill to this day. And I am forever grateful for the Crown Act journey with you, Speaker McClinton. Thank you. Long before I became a legislator, the speaker was leading this battle. But together, two black girls from West Philadelphia. Two black girls.
Southwest.
From West and Southwest Philadelphia. We have been able to do something great and something that many thought were frivolous. That's what they told me. My colleagues told me this bill was frivolous and not needed.
That's not a problem.
There was opposition to this bill. There was opposition to human rights and civil rights and dignity. But that wasn't going to stop us, right, Speaker?
That's right.
Nope.
So we changed hearts and minds. We organized the Pennsylvania Crown Act Coalition. Over 100 unions, businesses, entities. We had actual cities endorse the Crown Act. And that we have been able to build statewide support for the Crown Act. But that's all because of the history-making leadership of our speaker, Joanna McClinton, and this is not possible for me or for us without our speaker. Thank you so much. And with the signing of the Crown Act, we expand our civil rights protections and affirm a simple truth. We all deserve to show up as our full, free, and authentic selves. This law is a reflection of the power of our community. Again, I want to thank the Crown Act Coalition. I want to thank the PA Legislative Black Caucus in the building.
Absolutely.
I want to thank every member of the General Assembly who voted yes, because if you don't remember, the vote was 44-3. We only need 26, so that means this was a bipartisan effort. Every legislator who did any piece of this to help me and the speaker get this across the finish line, I love you and I thank you for everything that you have done. Governor Shapiro, now we need to work on your natural hairstyle for 2026.
I'm heading toward
I'm
news.
done, Miss Miss Lorraine.
We're going.
You got nothing for
We're
me?
going. We're going to help our dear governor with his natural hairstyle, but he has elevated the Pennsylvania Crown Act. That's why we're here today. And that's why we're prepared to continue to spread the good news of the Pennsylvania Crown Act, because it takes a House, a Senate, and a governor's signature to end race-based hair discrimination. Governor, I thank you. Thank you for all the ways you show up. Thank you for supporting laws that help us to be our greatest and best and the most authentic selves. We are changing Pennsylvania today. Yes. We are changing it for my daughter, she's 2, but she would have faced some form of race-based discrimination by the time she was 5 years old. We are changing the trajectory of the future of our children. That's why this bill is necessary. That's why this bill is not frivolous. That's why this bill is needed today. As we stand here with pen in hand, let us remember our work is not done. Our goal as legislators and policymakers and elected officials is to make this Commonwealth more fair, more just, and more free. That is our charge today. So for every child, every worker, every person who faced an indignity because of race-based hair discrimination, that ends today. For every opportunity and dream deferred, we reverse the course of history and herstory. We create the future that we want for Pennsylvania, that we need for Pennsylvania. Every curl, every kink, every coil, every strand of natural hair is now protected. I want to thank my staff in Harrisburg and in Pittsburgh, all the staff of all of our colleagues, and every person who told their story, every person who shared their experience, everyone who had the courage to call in and make the complaint about hair discrimination. This moment is for you. This moment is for my 2-year-old daughter. This moment is for my mother. This moment is for all of us. Right. It is time to sign the Pennsylvania Crown Act.
All right. Sign that bill, Governor. Come on.
I'm going to sign it. I want to say something. I'm not going to respond to the shot about my hair. I'll leave that to Hughes to back me up. No, listen, I thought there was a beautiful moment as you were speaking about your mother, who I really felt like I got to know through your words there. And your daughter cried out a little bit, and I saw her come and play with the back of your hair. I thought to myself just how beautiful from generation to generation your life story goes, that here your mother, would flatten your hair, would put you through that experience that helped you grow and helped you decide you wanted to do something about that. And now think about the world that your 2-year-old daughter is going to grow up in. That's a beautiful thing. And your mother is smiling down. Your mother is smiling down. And the second thing I want to say is the speaker's grandmom is smiling down too. And by the way, the speaker's grandmom may not be just smiling today, but about 2 weeks ago, I think I can tell this tale at a school here a little bit. When we were sitting there in those tough negotiations, and the speaker sat up at the table as we were getting close to the end of that process and said, I want the Crown Act passed. And she faced a significant amount of Heismans there saying, no way. That's right. And the speaker persisted. That's right. And I think that's when your grandma was smiling down, because you took the power, that these people gave you, and you used it to give back to people like Laurel and others. And I really admire you for that. I really do. Now let's sign this into law, okay?
There you go.
So Laurel, I want to show you this. This is all the words here, okay? You see that's Representative Mays right there. And you know who that is. That's Speaker McClinton. And these are all the words that make up the new law here. Okay? It says you can wear your hair however you want to wear it here in Pennsylvania. And it passed in the House of Representatives, right? Passed in the Senate, And now the law says if I sign my name to this, it becomes law in Pennsylvania. So should we do that? Yeah. Here we go.
I always got their back.
Good law. Good law. Good trouble to get good law.
Hey, there it is.
Thank you, Governor.
Representative Mays, that's for you. Madam Speaker, that is for you. And this is the Crown Law.
Get stuff done. Yeah. I said I would get better with my profanity.
Yeah, you're doing great. All right. So, Madam Speaker, Representative Mays, why don't we go back to the microphone and take a few questions here, okay? We're going to put this right down here. Okay? We'll take a few questions, the Speaker and the Rep and I. Anything from the media? It's good to see you. Yep.
I'd like to ask Dr. Asamoah, as well as you, the Speaker, Senator Hughes, where efforts stand in terms of passing this for a federal law, and then if there's any concern whether that federal attempt could be challenged even further given the current presidential administration, and even challenges to state law given that administration.
Well, here's what I'll tell you about this here in the state. This is law. I don't care what Donald Trump says. We make the laws here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we will protect the Crown Act. As for federal law, Dr. Asamoah, anyone else want to jump in on that?
We took great care in developing the bill text, and the language can withstand any judicial scrutiny. It has been introduced in the United States House of Representatives and has passed twice. It has been introduced in the Senate by our neighbor, my dear friend, Senator Cory Booker and Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, both neighbors in New Jersey. It will not be challenged, at least in any way that is effective, because again, it was written with great care. So it is my hope that we will be able to move it. It has bipartisan support in both houses, both the lower chamber and higher chamber in Congress, but I will not dismiss I think what it is that you were talking about in terms of the climate in D.C. where I currently live. And so there are challenges, but I will not rest until the Crown Act becomes the law of the land.
All right. Can I just clarify just one thing? Is this part of the budget package that was passed after the stalemate in the Pennsylvania House?
Now, this is a standalone bill that I've been working on for 6 years.
So
6
it
years.
wasn't part of a package deal to say, like, we'll vote
No,
for this.
it's a standalone bill, and I passed the baton to Representative Mays in 2023, and she's the prime, I'm the co-prime sponsor, and we've done a lot of groundwork over the last 2 years to get us to this point. It passed in the House overwhelmingly with bipartisan support, when the prior speaker had told me the caucus Republicans would not vote on anything that had to do with race. They didn't want to touch it. But there was overwhelming support. And then when the Senate finally called it up, both in their state government committee and their appropriations committee and on the floor of the Senate, there were so few no votes. It's incredible. Bipartisan support. And what I shared with my colleagues across the aisle, across the building, is there's not a county where people of color are not in Pennsylvania and cannot be positively impacted by this change in the law.
So how will this be enforced? Will there be sort of like a hotline people can call to report discrimination, or?
Go ahead.
So what House Bill 439 does is it amends the Pennsylvania Human Relations Act. So just like other discrimination complaints will be filed with the commission, the PA Human Relations Commission, the same would happen for our bill, because now hair discrimination is part of the protected class of race, which is in the PA Human Relations Act. So they could call their statewide Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission, and there are also satellite offices all across the state.
Time for two more, guys.
Anything else? All right. Cool. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Great job. Great job. That was beautiful what you said about your mom.
Can we grab a quick photo with